How's it going, everyone? How's it going, everyone? Today, we're going to be doing some lathe work. Haven't done much on a lathe. Have a little bit of experience, made a few things, made a few bowls. Are we still live there? Yes, that's what I want there. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So like I said, we're going to be doing some lathe work. I got a little project that I want to do, and also just want to practice more on the lathe. I haven't used the lathe much. In fact, I've had this one for probably over a year now, and I have yet to actually turn anything on it. And one of those reasons is because I have not had any tools. So here, just ordered today, just came in today, some turning tools. So we are going to unbox them and give them a shot. I decided to opt for the carbide tip, the replaceable carbide tip tools, instead of a traditional high-speed steel tool, mainly just because I don't want to have to mess with sharpening and all of that. So, these are okay. Nice little package here. We got this on Amazon. I think it was like 40 bucks. So yeah, we're gonna get these set up and start turning some wood. Turning Tuesday is what I'm calling it. So yeah. These feel decent quality for 40 bucks. I mean, can't go wrong with that. And it's I guess it's a beginner set of them. The tooling part's a little smaller than I remembered them being, but yeah, that works. I don't know why you would want to be able to access the back of the tube. Couldn't tell you. But just a minute here, we'll get started turning. There is something that I want to actually make with one of these blanks. Saw it in a book here. I'll show you. It's this little twist thing here. Lighting's kind of bad. If you could see, that's what we're gonna eventually make there. So we need a round blank to be able to carve that and do that. So we're gonna make one of those, and then we will just mess around. I got 2 blanks here, just some poplar blanks, and yeah, we're just gonna be messing around today with the lathe, trying out these tools, getting a little practice in, and then in future Tuesday episodes, I'd like to do this every Tuesday. That'd be nice. I'd like to also make bowls and stuff. I've made a bowl or 2 in my lifetime. I need to get some more equipment for the lathe, some actual mounts for that to be able to do that. And I'd like to make bowls and stuff and, you know, give them away here on the stream or whatever. Yeah, I'd like to make some projects and be able to give them away and stuff, but today will just be, and I'll probably give away this twist project I'm making. This is just the start of it, so it's going to take a minute to get that to a point. So if you don't know anything about woodworking, that's totally fine. This is what you would call a lathe, and this spins a piece of wood at a speed, and we use these cutters along here to shape that piece of wood. So we're going to be making a rough round blank and then kind of messing around with another one. So this is my first time using this lathe in this shop. I've had this shop now for probably over 1.5 to 2 years. And I've had this lathe in here for probably a year or so, and I have yet to use it. So yeah, it'll be nice to get some work in here. These are just some poplar blanks I had left over from a different project I did probably a couple of years ago, honestly. But saving scrap pieces sometimes is well worth it. Now I am missing some hardware, so we'll see how this goes, but should be fine. I'm missing this centering pin on the drive side, which is just going to stop us from being able to get exactly centered. Loosen this. Oops. Totally kind of fell off our mark there. Get this tightened down. All right, tighten that down. This is a pretty old lathe. I found it on Facebook for free, actually. Somebody was giving it away, so I thought, you know, why not? I'll take it. Now, something you should do on a lathe is, you know, just kind of mill your stock down so you're not starting from square, but from square will be good. It'll give us some more practice time here. So we're about to start. We're about to get turning here. Safety is important. We're going this respirator face shield combo. And hopefully you can still hear me. I got a mic on here. This is not going to be too loud, but let's see how it goes. So it seems decently balanced. I do, however, need to... I'm going to scoot this back just a hair. Like I said, it's been a minute since I've turned anything, so we'll see how this goes. I know some of the general rules and practices that are good to have. But yeah, it's definitely going to take a second to get back into the groove of it. Yeah, that should be good. So right now we're just kind of roughing the shape in. And you can see, looks pretty rough right now, but we are going to get it there. Huh. Okay, so this handle was coming unscrewed on me. That's why I was feeling something funny there.
Position of this seems pretty good. I was seeing, oh, I'm seeing these pencil lines in here. I'm like, that looks like a giant crack. Never mind. So you can see we're slowly getting there to a round thing. We got to do this whole thing, so it's gonna take a minute. It's gonna take a minute. Ooh. We're finally getting to a circle there. I'm going to try the smoothing gouge, see how that does. Oh yeah, much nicer. Okay. Back with the rough and cut. If you're just tuning in, we are we're just messing around on the lathe. It's turning Tuesday. So I got these new cutters from Amazon. So we're just trying those out. One thing I probably should have checked, but didn't. Oops. And I have opened this upside down, which is not great. One thing I probably...
As I was saying, one thing I probably should have checked that I didn't check is that these cutter heads are on here tightly. Because I don't want that to come off during operation. Seems like they were. Nice thing about these over a traditional cutter is you can rotate them and have, you know, sharpness for a long time. There we go. Those are tight. And we'll get back to it.
Back with the roughing cut. We might want this slightly lower, maybe. Switching to left-handed. All right. Need a little more down this side. All right, we will now move this closer in. There we go. I guess that's as close as we can come. Interesting. So our goal right now is to just get a nice, somewhat even round blank here. That way we can use that for the project we're making. And basically,
We've got two tools here. This is a roughing gouge, which has a round edge on it, and this would be more of a smoothing gouge with the square bit, the straight edge on it. Leaves a smoother cut. You can see it's pretty rough right now, and we'll clean it up with this here.
Back on. All right. Okay, now
I actually have a tool that will help me. I'll be right back. Gotta go find it. Sorry about the audio. 1 second. Okay, we are back. Give me a second. All right. I needed these guys here to help us to get an even diameter all the way around this. So this can help us as we're going to feel, you know, how even we are. So I'm going to get it set pretty close to where I want it. Okay. And then we'll get back. We'll work our way down. Get this side to where we want it. Then we'll come down and finish up the end here. Ooh.
Here we've gone short, so we'll have to remeasure. And here we're still too big. Too big. Almost there, almost there. There we go. So this tool here allows you to pretty much gauge and see that we're pretty close to an even diameter all the way around this. So now we can move on down to this side. And I don't know. I think we'll keep going. We're going to get this now down to we're going to now even out this side with this side here. Ooh. All right. If you're just now joining, welcome to Turning Tuesdays. This is our first live Turning Tuesday, so we're turning some wood here. Right now I'm just making a big old dowel for a project that we need, and got this side pretty good. Now we're roughing out this side to match this side. So we got this side fairly roughed in. We may have to shrink this side up, depending, but we're going to keep going. Thinking, yeah, I have to shrink the whole thing up. Maybe not, maybe not. I will actually bring this in a little closer if we can. Okay. All right. I'd say we're pretty good there for what we are aiming for. I'm going to give this a little bit of sanding, and we'll probably throw on the next blank and do something maybe a little crazy. So we'll go ahead and move this out of the way. I get some sandpaper.
So like I said, it's been a while since I've used... Oof, that's not good. Sorry about that. It's going to be loud and annoying. It's been a while since I used a lathe. Just turn the cylinder here that we can use for a bunch of different things. But we got something specific, a project we're going to carve actually using this cylinder. And that'll come in another stream. That's going to actually be carving work with the hand tool. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, let me get some sandpaper and let's sand this bad boy. So I need to turn on. I got a big fan there going to pull out the dust I'm about to make. Let's see what kind of sandpaper we got here. 80 and 180, that'll be good enough. Now I gotta keep this on pretty much the rest of the way. How we doing, everybody? Want to get this sanded?
I don't really have any dust collection set up for this, so definitely need to keep the respirator on most of the time. Quite dusty, as you can see. Boom. There's the 80. I'll hit it with the 180 back here somewhere. Alright. So that should be smooth enough, huh? Probably. Let me grab some 220. I believe I've got some in here. 400. Why not? That'll be good. 400. Pretty satisfying to be able to make this cylinder here. Now we're releasing super fine dust into the air. So definitely going to want to keep this mask on. Oh. This thing is nice and smooth. Alright. There is... That were. Wrong one. This is the one. There's some dust. Alright, here's our cylinder. First thing I've turned on the lathe in a while. I think it turned out pretty good. Going to serve us for what we need. So yeah, let's throw another blank on here and we will we'll make something cool. So my other blank is the same thing. I'm going to move my air filter closer here. Give me 1 second. I got an air filter going, sucking out all this dust, hopefully. You can see in the reflection here, a lot of dust. Lots of dust. Respirators are important. I hope the audio is coming out okay. This is the first time streaming like this. So maybe I will edit that as time goes on. But we'll see. So I'm kind of limited what I can make just because I don't have certain chucks, like to hold a bowl and stuff. I need to get some because I would like to make bowls and such. So yeah. But with what we got now, it's working out pretty well. So I can't complain. Huh. Seems to not be threading onto here. There we go. There we go. Hold on. Of course, we've fallen off that side. back on we go. Oh, not sure what we should turn this one into. I was thinking we could make a bunch of little tiny balls or a baseball bat. That could be cool, huh? Not sure though yet. Rata, rata. Okay, we're going to rough the rest of this down. And we will then decide what we're going to do. Making a real mess here. Quite a bit of mess. Oh boy. Alright, I'm thinking we make either a baseball bat or a bunch of little like balls. That would be cool, huh? We are working on, hold on, let me shut off this fan.
Mainly just, I got a new set of turning tools and finally busting out this lathe I've had for about a year and a half. Haven't used it, didn't even have any tools for it. So I got this cylinder here that I need for a future project that we're going to do. It is kind of a carving project. Found it in this this book here. Basically what we're going to make is this basic spiral, yeah, that's probably the best picture here. But basically we need a dowel, and then we're going to carve this twist into it so it looks like, kind of like two pieces of wood braided together. So that's what this big dowel is for. And then we're just messing around with the this other blank that I had. Like I said, that's what this is going to be for, and we'll carve that up at a later time. But we got this blank, and so deciding what I want to do with it. A couple ideas I've had so far: make a mini baseball bat, or try to make some balls out of this, which I think would be pretty cool. Something I've always wanted to do. That could be also a cool little project for like ornaments, Christmas decorations, stuff like that. So let me know in the chat what you think I should make. Tiny baseball bat, miniature baseball bat, or we'll try and make a bunch of little wood ball spheres, wooden spheres. There we go. That's a more nicer word, I guess. But yeah, let me know in the chat what we should make. So right now I'm just kind of roughing this down to somewhat of a dowel shape like this, and then we'll further shape it from there. Or if you have another idea other than a miniature baseball bat and little spheres of what we should do, let me know. We're going to get back to roughing this.
Also don't know how the audio is. I think we need to lower this just a hair. Sweet. Yeah, I wasn't sure how the audio would be. I got this wireless mic on, but I also got the respirator on, obviously, so that probably makes it a little less when I'm talking through the respirator, but yeah, I think the mic's working a lot better than I just had phone audio. So hopefully it's staying nice and crisp. Yeah, so I don't know what I want to do with this exactly yet, but let's get it smoothed out a little bit and we'll kind of see. I'd like for this to be closer, but I think we're about maxed out. This is a spindle lathe, I believe they call it. So I've had lathes where you can get pretty up close on it, but you know, if you were turning something really small, you'd have to come out here with a tool. I think it'll be alright. I do need to tighten this up though. With the vibrations, it gets kind of loose sometimes.
Lighting, that's a good question. My shop is in my garage, it's a two-car garage, so it's not nighttime. I mean, right now it's nighttime per se. I just like, number one, I kind of like the look in the videos with the more direct lighting. Um, so that's one thing, just to me looks nicer. And number two, I mean, it helps a lot just having very bright direct lighting on whatever I'm working on. Helps me to see it better. But that's just a preference thing. But it's mainly just for an aesthetic thing for videos, just having them look a certain way. So that's why I got the lighting like I do. Nothing other than that. It's the same in here night or day. There's no windows or anything, so it's dark in here no matter what. And then we got the direct lighting. Yeah. Some people have complained about it. Others enjoy the look. I enjoy the look, so that's what I've kept it as. I'm really just using like shop lights that you would buy, work lights basically. I need to actually put in dedicated lights at each station that I could turn on and off. But yeah, for right now, I literally just have 2 work lights that I move around whenever I need them. But yeah, it's mainly an aesthetic thing, you know. So what are we thinking here? Should we make this, you know, the classic turning thing is a baseball bat. We could do that. We can make some tiny spheres. I don't know yet. Still got a little ways to go to smooth this out. Still pretty rough from the roughing stage. Well, what do you guys think? Also, one thing with this lighting, working in a workshop, you know, usually if you have the whole place lit up well, I don't know if you could see, it's hard to see now. You may be able to see, you can see dust in the air very easily. So when you're sanding, you know, you may, in a shop with a bunch of lighting and not a lot of shadow, you may not really notice how much dust is in the air and how much you really should be wearing a respirator. And I didn't notice as much until I got lights like these. And man, especially when you're sanding, if you don't have an air filtration system or something, you could see just all the fine dust that you're breathing in. Not very good for your health. So that's another unintended, I guess, something I've noticed from those lights. That helps to know when I should have my respirator on. Because sometimes you think the air is pretty clean, then you turn a spotlight on like that and you see just how dirty it really is.
this evening.
So I needed a dowel for a upcoming carving project I'm gonna do. So that's what this is for. We just made that a little while ago. But I had another blank, and I haven't decided exactly what it's gonna be yet. I don't need it for anything, so we're just kind of messing around. I'm trying out these new cutters I got on Amazon the other day. Believe it or not, I've had this lathe for like almost 2 years, and I've done nothing with it. So just really trying to get some more time in on the lathe. Um, but I'm thinking we're going to attempt to make a bunch of small wooden spheres, see how that's going to go. I'm going to give it a go. Might be pretty difficult to do, but basically I'm going to turn them down till we got a centerpiece holding them all together. And then we'll kind of break them apart and just sand them by hand the rest of the way. But we'll see how these turn out and how well that goes. But yeah, thanks for everybody for hopping on. And
This is something I'm going to start doing more often of, is live streaming. And we'll do some turning probably every Tuesday night. Turning Tuesday is what I'm calling it. So yeah, we're just gonna, I think we're gonna go for the spheres. I'm just kind of eyeballing. Actually, what may help is so much here already. One of my other tools here. Very messy, very messy. For one of my gauges. I don't know where it went off to. I am the worst about this. Setting something down and then absolutely just losing it even though it's right in front of you. Alright. So we're going to set this to about the biggest diameter we have there. And then let me find a pencil. Oh, so we've kind of already messed up. Alright, we're just going to start over. It's pretty close. That'll be that in center. Probably somewhere around there. So actually,
I'm gonna swap one of these cutters out here. Keep opening this completely upside down. I've always wanted to make some like perfect wooden spheres, and it's kind of difficult to do without a lathe. finally got around to getting some tools for this thing, so hopefully we'll be able to do that. Get a few of them out of it. They're not going to be able to be very big, but we'll see how it turns out. Like a cool project to do, I think, would just be, obviously, I couldn't make it on this lathe, but like a giant wooden ball. For really no reason at all, other than it'd just be a cool thing to make. But we'll start on the small scale.
So what I'm doing is I've got marked the diameter this way, also that way. And then I'm going to use this kind of plunge in there where it starts and stops. And we're going to try and make a sphere. This is a lot more difficult than it looks. I've seen them make, I've seen a couple of jigs for like sphere making. I don't know how well they would work. I'm sure fairly well. And I'm really just kind of eyeballing it. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Let's see. Center is still here. Keep that nice and crisp so we know where we're working from. It's easier working that way since I'm right-handed. Working this way is a little tough. Kind of starting to get somewhere. clearing some space here so I get my cutter in. Alright. The art of eyeballing things is something that takes a little while to get used to. And that's what I'm doing here, just kind of eyeballing this sphere. Make some more room on this side. So we are turning with some poplar. Yeah, these were just some old links that I had for like a cabriole type leg. So it's pretty easy to turn with. It's a softer of a hardwood, if you may or may not know, but yeah, we're just using some poplar. It's just what I had. I want to get into turning more bowls and stuff, and then maybe giving them away on the stream here to y'all, doing giveaways, stuff like that. But with those, I think we'll do something more interesting materials, whether it be like a segmented glue up or something like that. So last week, I don't know if anybody has seen Australia. Yeah, I'm not. I guess maybe it doesn't grow there. I don't know. I want to expand my knowledge more on trees, because I know the types of wood, but I could tell you what an oak tree looks like and what a walnut tree looks like, but that's about the extent of it. That's something I need to educate myself on more of. But yeah, poplar is a hardwood similar to like basswood, um, but it's got a closed grain like a maple does, but it is a lot softer. And then you also get like some green hues in here. I don't know if you could tell. Some of it will be like very, very green. Even purple you'll get. So it's a paint grade wood, but it works well. Cabinet, face frame, stuff like that. Ooh, this works pretty nice. If I use the very point of this, we can really kind of fine tune it. Okay, getting somewhere. Ooh, it is so hard to tell though. I think we're actually pretty close there. Let's pause and see. So I'm still trying to think of a way to tell
how spherical this actually is. Because it looks pretty round for the most part, but it is hard to tell. Kind of smaller than I want it to be, but that's okay. I'm actually going to, I think we're going to sand this, then we'll cut it off.
Give it a look. All right. me get a handsaw and we will cut this off. I do remember now how I've seen other people do this. But that's not the way we're going to be doing it. There we go. So we've got definitely not a round ball yet. We still got to trim up these knobs here. Let me get some tools to do that. A chisel, a nice sharp chisel, and that's really all you need. Chisel. We got sandpaper. So I've been wanting to get into more live stream stuff, just to be able to just hang out, you know. If people have questions and stuff about projects or how something's made, they can come ask them here, or, you know, tell me about projects you got going on. Love to hear about them. This is going to be difficult. I'll try some sanding here. Huh. The way I've seen other people do this is this is kind of too small to do this, but they basically make 2 cups to sandwich the ball this way and put it in the lathe and then turn it again. But we're not going to be able to do that here. I think we'll just go to work with the chisel. Still pretty dusty in here. Ooh. And so it's like I was saying, I wanted to get more into live streaming. Just as a way to hang out and answer questions, and kind of, you know, when you make a YouTube video, it's kind of one-sided. You know, you make the video, put it out, and then that's it. And if somebody comments, you know, that's always nice. But oftentimes, you know, it's nice to be able to interact, you know, in real time with people. And any questions, not even questions, comments, you know, it could be really about anything. It doesn't have to be about furniture. I did a live stream last week, and I would like to better plan for this. I think that's why it didn't really work out, but basically would like to have some folks send in something that they've made, you know, whether it be a woodworking project. Doesn't have to be woodworking necessarily. It could be, you know, any sort of DIY thing you've done. Just send it in, and we'll review it and we'll review them and do a giveaway for a winner of the stream. So, for example, let's say, you know, and I'd like to eventually have themes for these. So, like, you know, say this month's build theme is, you know, a table. So build a table this month. Any, you know, it could be any table, but build something and
send me some pictures of the final product and also um, progress shots of it, and we'll compare them and we'll rate them here on the stream and do a giveaway. I'd like to give away some tools, some gift cards, stuff like that. Just a fun thing to do, you know. And so last week I was streaming, and basically the theme was send in literally anything. Let me turn this fan down because it's getting annoying. I don't know if y'all can hear that. I've got a big fan going in the background, but I got this mic on here. Separate question. The mic sounds very good. What do you use for this? This just got this mic a few days ago, like a week or two ago. It is the DJI Mic Mini, I believe it's called. It's a wireless, I got it right here, wireless lavalier mic, and it works with like a DSLR camera, but I'm streaming from my phone right now, so it also works from that. It's got a little receiver plugged into there. I think it was like $90 off of B&H Photo, I think is where I got it from. It was a little cheaper there than Amazon, surprisingly. I love this mic. It seems to have worked well so far with everything that I've needed to do, because some of my videos that I've been filming, working on, I needed some, usually I do a voiceover, and I record that in my little office space, but I needed to record me talking in the shop actually. So I was looking for wireless mic options and came across that one. DJI, that's the company that makes drones and whatnot. They also make wireless mics and stuff like this too. So I'd highly recommend it so far. Battery life, I don't know, what have we been streaming for? Almost 2 hours now. Wow. So yeah, it's lasted 2 hours. So that's good. But yeah, I recommend this mic. Seriously. Trying to get this finished up here. We're slowly chipping away at it, getting it to look round, somewhat like a ball. But yeah, I watch a lot of other streamers that do like video games and stuff, and I think I haven't looked into much of people like woodworkers or different makers that do live streams. I'm sure there are plenty, and I've intentionally not researched just to not like try and not copy, but I want to kind of have my own fresh idea take on it. So, but I've never come across really anybody that I follow on YouTube who does live streaming events really that are making stuff. It's more so just like a Q&A hangout thing. So like I said, there's a couple of streamers that I watched that kind of gave me the inspiration to also start streaming. So something we're going to try to do at least weekly, if not more. Like I said, I like to make some bowls and stuff and then give those away on the stream. Give me something to make and also somebody to make it for. Because if you're just making a thing, it's fun, but if you have somebody who it's for, that's even better. All right, we're almost to the point of being able to sand this here. Appreciate the support from you guys and watching the channel, subscribing, liking, commenting on videos. It really helps out. You know, we're still a smaller channel. That's okay. Love the small community, but your guys' support helps it to grow, and I'm definitely very appreciative of that support that you guys give. So thank you. All right, I'm gonna try to sand the rest of this. Wondering what that noise was. I think it's my neighbor outside. Getting very dusty. Should probably put my mask back on, but we're almost done. All right. Thank you. I appreciate that. Trying to make some informative content, some entertaining content, kind of a mix of it all. So I appreciate that very, very much. And again, appreciate all your support. Okay, this is, I think, a good first attempt. I don't have all the proper lathe tools to be able to turn a sphere like this, but you can definitely tell it's not perfectly round. But, yeah, there it is. The cylinder definitely turned out a lot better, but that's not even, that's for another project. This sphere was just something to mess around with. Fun times, fun times. Like I said, it'd be cool to make like a giant sphere, like, I don't know, like at Target, the store. Some of them, they have these giant concrete spheres in front of them. They're probably 3 foot in diameter. I've always wanted to make one out of wood. That would be an interesting build to do. But I think we're gonna wrap the stream up there. Thank you everybody for watching and staying tuned. Like I said, every Tuesday, we're probably gonna do a turning Tuesday. So we'll do some lathe work. Next Tuesday, I might try and turn a bowl. I'm gonna have to get some different chucks for the lathe to be able to do that. Because right now I can really only turn spindly objects such as this cylinder. But yeah, I've got a big mess to clean up now, and it's getting late, so I should probably hit the hay, as they say. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. I will, like I said, next Tuesday about the same time we'll be going live, doing some lathe work, and then I got part 2 of the cabinet build we just did. Part 1's up now, but with that interesting trim and stuff, part 2 will be coming out probably within a week or two. I've got everything's filmed, still working on the edit, and then got a couple other videos in the works coming up as well. Yeah, and we'll get in some more live streams. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time. Appreciate y'all. Wednesday, got it. Yeah, time difference is a thing. In America, it'll be turning Tuesday. In Australia, will be wood turning Wednesday. How about that? So yeah. All right. We'll see y'all later.